Okay, today we're taking a look at the 3-piece 1/4" drive extension set from Bergen. I know we looked at their 5-piece previously. That was an okay set as well, still for relatively cheap. A lot of options in there, decent enough for 1/4" drive, I suppose. These ones are only about £3, a little bit better quality, a little bit more weight to them. They go in line with the 1/4" and the 3/8" drives. 3-piece sets that we looked at from Bergen, we was pleased with, fairly strong. Both of those sets were for the money, and obviously it'll complete the set because it's matching, the design's matching, it's 3-piece. But also for £3, it is very similar to a lot of other 3-piece sets out there on the market that probably come from the same place. It's probably the same thing in a slightly different design package. Which is what they've done, whatever Bergen have done with their contract. They chop and change ranges. Some of these tool companies do. It might disappear. You might not get this range. It might not be around about the same price. So I'd jump on it as a spare set, considering that I bent a 1/4" one, didn't I, a few weeks ago. You can never go wrong with a few different sets, especially for only £3 to put your hand in your pocket and use your change. These, like I say, they're changing the name Bergen to US Pro. We'll take a look at that in the video as well. It's probably, I don't know whether they're going to continue these just with US Pro on, so I'd jump on them while you can, to be fair.
Okay, so today we'll be taking a look at the Bergen 3-piece 1/4" drive set. Again, chrome vanadium. We looked previously at their 5-piece satin finish set. Again, like I said, these are okay. These ones, you get a lot more options with those. Again, those are about £5. These are only about £3. But these ones do seem a little bit heavier, a little bit better quality. They do have a specific catalogue number, which is 4016. Like I said to you before, this came in the post to them, so it says, please note Bergen are currently rebranding their full product range to US Pro, so keep an eye out for the rebranded items. That website was Tools to You Direct, sw.com. The Bergen's direct website is down. That must have been what one of you was talking about to me in the comments before. I did try to reply to a few more comments, but on my app on my phone, the YouTube said that the comments were gone, so I couldn't reply to them, even though I had them come up on my my replies. But I suspect that for those interested about that's why the website was actually down, because they're probably rebranding their current stock on that website as well. So obviously we've got the scales here, and all I want to do is a comparison in the weight to the to one of the same size from the 5-piece set that we've got here. I'll take a look at the actual things first. Right, take a look at this, the smallest one, which is a 75mm. You can see the knurl isn't quite so deep as some others, like the Soley Premier 3-piece set. I will, however, say that these do seem very similar to that Soley Premier set. See, detented, and our usual radius corners. They do feel a lot more higher quality, a lot more weighted, and I wouldn't be, like we've seen with a lot of the some of the Soley stuff, they all seem to come from the same place of origin. Just with a slight different design elements to them, which has all come under the you know, the certain companies contract, you know, what they've quoted out. So I'll say they've got a slightly long back end again, exactly the same as the satin ones. Maybe not quite so long, but it is still fairly long. That is one thing. One thing the soley ones do have is a real deep, good knurl. These ones again are light. It is there, but it's, you know, it is more light. Whereas the soley ones, you know, you can actually make an actual more use of the knurl. Whereas these ones, you know, again, it seems to be there more for, you know, more for looks, more for aesthetic purposes than being deep and useful. But again, spring-loaded ball bearing seems okay. Forward, and we'll check the weight of that in pounds. So that's 66 pounds. £66 versus the Bergen 5-piece 68. It's actually heavier. It doesn't feel like it. It doesn't seem it. Oh no, that one's registering actually a 68 now as well. So according to this, they both weigh the same. 71 there. Let me just reset that again. So it's saying about 66 again. So 64, slight mover up. So I'd say they weigh about the same, so they could pretty much be exactly the same thing after all, just with a different finish. I'm not sure, to be honest. They don't seem. These seem a lot nicer quality. I mean, yeah. They just do seem nicer quality. What have we got here? So the next one up, we've got 150mm or 6 inches. There you go. They like it 6 inches. A little bit deeper this time on the knurl. 2 bands. I do admit, although they don't really do much, I do prefer these 2 bands that they put on there instead of just leaving it plain. Do like to see something on the top. So we've got the 150, and just going to measure that. Oh. And it says 126 pounds. Yeah, this is the zero. And again, that says the same 126. So they do seem to be the same weight, even though they seem a lot higher in quality. Now there is the 250 So the 10-inch 250mm or 10-inch extension. Now this one seems a lot more stable again and robust to me than the big one 250 in the 5-piece set. So we're going to try and take a measurement. He's fairly tall, so we've got to make sure it doesn't topple. So we're saying 205 pounds. Now if we take the 5-piece, so we're saying only 187, between 187 and 187. So 187 versus 205. So in this case, the 3-piece is a lot heavier. I will notice that it is a little bit longer as well, actually, which is probably where the weight comes from, considering they're both 250mm. Or in fact, actually, that's it actually classes it on the pack as 225. So it's 225mm actually, not a 250, which was a little bit odd. But yeah, so you do actually get a longer extension in here. They do, for the most part, seem to be exactly the same weight as the 5-piece satin, but they just feel a lot better. They just feel a lot nicer in quality, these 3-piece extensions. And for only around £3, you might as well just put your hand in your pocket and pick up what I feel is a nicer set. It's probably just as useful, just as usable, but it's a nicer set, and it's a spare set as well for the sake of £3. You never go wrong with a spare set. I think what I'll do with these is the useless Nielsen 1/4-inch set that came with one of those a nice three-piece hangable lock-in plastic holder for them. I think I'll use that with these, and I'll probably rivet that into the one side, the left side of my of the toolbox that we refurbished. Another good thing about buying a cheap toolbox, instead of the £70–80 retail cost, and just knocking a few dings out of it and redoing it up, is that you don't really mind drilling into it and riveting and bolting things into it to make your life more easy, because it's that's glass. That could have gone very wrong there. You don't mind doing that with a toolbox that you paid a fraction of the price for and got back into working order again. So that's the Bergen or US Pro now, as they want to be called. But again, like I say, I don't know whether these are going to be rebranded with US Pro or the range is going to disappear. So for £3, I'd honestly jump on them, because it's alright. It's very cold here where I am. My throat's starting to take the cold air in. So for the sake of £3, I'll put your hand in your pocket and pick out some loose change, and I'll pick a set up just to add into your toolbox, because they might disappear. The range might disappear, and the styling of them is exactly the same as the 3-piece 3/8-inch set that we looked at, and the 1/2-inch. So they kind of match up. They match up a bit better than the 5-piece ones do. Although for the money of the 5-piece, bleeding seagulls now, getting it all today. for the money of the 5-piece and the 3-piece, you could pick up two. You could pick up 2 sets, and you've got it all there, really. To be honest with you. Okay, so all I did is I just used the front of that Nielsen plastic clip set, as you can see there, and I just, same as what I did the magnetic strip, I bolted that to the some little bolts to the inside of the toolbox lid. I just keep them in there. Obviously make sure your the big fat female end is facing that way, you know, with the most space, so you can pull it out and it'll come out. Otherwise, if it's the other way around and the big fat ends of that end, the long one, these ones might be okay, but that long one is not going to pull out past this point, so you have to do it that way around. I've tightened them nuts down fairly over tight. I think I'll just loosen them up a little bit, and then it'll be a little bit easier to pull them in and out. But that obviously you can still use your magnetic strip. You can put stuff over the top, it'll just go over the top of the extensions, or if you wanted to rearrange it, you could put your smaller spanners that end and your larger spanners that side, so it wouldn't make no difference if you've got that kind of thing. You can stick anything on there, but you know, that's still shuts fine. So there you go, another nice little tip. If you don't have anything like that, all you could do is you could make it out of a block of wood or plastic, drill holes to the same diameter as these 1/4-inch extensions, and then you drilled them, and all you need to do is cut it in half, and then you'd have the half, the semicircle that's in there already, and then you could just screw that onto the side, and you could use both sides. If you cut it dead center as best as you can use it and put some more, maybe some wobble extensions or something underneath, or something like that yourself. But you know, it's just making use of what you got around you. That's why tools are always good and help out in things like this even. So yeah, that's the Bergen set. It didn't turn out too badly, to be honest. Yep, job well done.